Hey, y'all, I wanted to jump on here and discuss something that's kind of disturbing. I've been hearing people talking about tell your kids not to join the military or whatever. And that's your right. You know what I mean? For your kids not to join or not to even to go if they're drafted, if the draft is enacted. And my thing is this, is that what I'm noticing though is that most of the people's platforms that I wanted that was talking about saying, well, my kids ain't going. It's a lot of Republicans, a lot of MAGA saying, no, my kids ain't going this and that. And not even just that, there's a lot of progressives, a lot of Hispanics, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Asians, and a lot of you are on your pages or voted Republican. So I sit back and I say to myself, we're in this situation because y'all chose racism because you didn't want a black woman as the president. And she told you everything that is happening would happen. Kamala, we speak of, a woman who looks my color. See, all too often in America, people have been so racist, and racism was used to cause you to feel like she was the worst choice. And everything they were saying was true. And some of y'all didn't use your critical thinking to remember that normally when we go into war, it's one party that puts us there. And then it's another party that has to come in and clean them up. Go back and research that. And normally when we go to war, it is for specific reasons. Okay? We'll say allegedly contracts, allegedly oil, allegedly land. Yeah. And yet and still, a lot of y'all voted for this because you didn't care, just like you wanted immigration, enforcement to get out the criminals that were allegedly going to be getting depleted from this earth or out of this country. And then you notice that it wasn't the criminals being rounded up. It was Latin people, Caucasians, it was everybody that was lower and middle income being harassed, or this was affecting them. Look at the economy. Look at prices. And remember, it was supposed to be no more wars, right? But all of you sit up and are talking about this. It's either flocking or fracking or something like that, allegedly, which is, from what I'm hearing, is an art. Because I just came from playing spades. My head's hurting. That's why I got this. I got my bonnet on. But all the retired military people that was over there was talking about it. And then there was a couple active duty people saying they've been hearing about it. And I'm sitting up here saying, there are people on active duty that are Democrats who voted for Kamala, who voted so that this would not happen. But here it is. A lot of you who voted for this are saying, oh, my kids can't go. My kids can't go. Or I'm telling my child to be a conscience ejector. Or if they if they are already in the military, say, I'm a conscience ejector, use mental health. You're kind of all these scenarios so that your child cannot deploy. And then I'm hearing about this other measure where they can disobey a lawful order or allegedly try to harm their superior. And I started saying to myself, it's kind of ironic that the parents who were able to vote and also the children that are able to vote, you taught your children racism, misogyny, bigotry, and hatred, and led them to vote for this situation. And now you're trying to say, oh, but yeah, we voted for this, but I don't care who your supervisor is or who this person is, have this practice of the frocking or whatever they're calling it. Yeah. So you possibly want someone who voted against this to be in a negative situation because you and all the rest of you, progressives, Asians, Hispanics, who voted in large numbers for this, and progressives with Jill Stein and everybody else talking about don't vote for Kamala if Kamala don't denounce Israel and this person don't denounce Israel. Instead of you waiting for her to get in into vote for her, get her in there because she was the better of the two. Instead, you're the reason that, look at Palestine right now. Yeah. Your strong arming of politicians prior to them even getting in office. And you all, and a lot of progressives always do this to Democrats. You don't see Republicans doing this. You don't see MAGA twisting their people's arms prior to getting in office. They wait till they get in there and then they start wanting them to follow what they said they was going to do. It's always the people who, the progressives and people that go up against the Democratic Party that are saying they're going to vote Democrat, that are ones that want to twist the Democrats' arms before they even get here. Oh, don't take AIPAC money. You think Republican MAGA is telling their people not to take AIPAC money? Granted, nobody is with AIPAC. They just won't say it. But you don't see them blocking their people from getting in office. And then all of you who voted for this hot mess express that we're going through, because from today to tomorrow, we don't know what's happening. You got people in charge taking millions and millions of money, allegedly. Money all over the place, allegedly. People being injured, just trying to come home from work. Yeah. And yet you sit there and you don't say to yourself, this is on me. Those veterans who came back, dignified remains, that's on you. You may not have been the one in charge of causing the attack. Just like those kids over there, them school children. This is on you. Yeah, you can easily say, well, he did it. No, it's on you. Because he wouldn't have never been in charge if you didn't vote racism, hatred, misogyny, and bigotry. And also, think about all the LGBTQ plus I people who were trained fighting machines, that a lot of you that voted racism, bigotry, misogyny, and hatred had them taken out of the military, kicked out of the military when they loved to serve. Yeah. You need them now. You need them to go back in and replace your kids, right? Yeah. Because I know a lot of people are easily saying, hey, tell your kids not to go, tell your kids not to go. And I'm here to tell you that because you're talking so much, this is one of my number one things I talk about on this platform. Too many people keep getting on here talking. And when you're really trying to set up a plan, this is the last place you should be talking about it. Because if you think for a minute that the Department of Defense, the military, and all of them is not listening and hearing what you're trying to tell your kids to do, and they're not going to put executive orders in place to block that, you're crazy. Keep running your mouth to try to combat the chaos that most of y'all created by overly letting your racism, we'll just say racism, because Kamala could have been sitting here right now and we would still have our GDP would still be going up, because Biden is the one that did he didn't do the big beautiful bill that gave tax breaks to billionaires. He did infrastructure. Our planes weren't dropping out of the skies. TSA was getting paid. Everybody was getting their money. It may not have been what you wanted, but you was doing better than what you're doing now. Look at the stock market. Look at crypto. Look at everything. Gas for regular cars. A friend of mine told me her car normally takes $15 in gas. She just paid $60 for gas. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid. It's sickening. But y'all keep thinking that you can be a racist and that this country is going to keep going forward in a positive way. That is not God's plan. That's not how it works. Yeah. Remember that. But remember what I said. If you want to talk about something like that, don't do it on here. But y'all have a great day.